Hello guys, and welcome back to another tutorial video on the Loverfella server. Today I'm actually going to be showing you guys how you could build a max magma grinder. This is actually one of the most compact versions that I've been able to design in the past month. But first we're actually going to have to switch over to a creative world so I can give you guys the best tutorial experience. So there is going to be 3 parts to this video. First, we're going to be building the chamber that the magma spawn in. Then we're going to be building the killing chamber where you guys would kill them, obviously, makes sense. And then finally, we're going to be building a storage system, because the storage system is very important for this magma grinder, because this is where you're going to be making your cut of the money if other people are grinding it. So there are a couple things that you're going to need to know before we start building. So a max spawner means that there are 32 spawners in it. So this spawner is going to be holding 32 spawners. You can't really have more than that unless it's 3 chunks apart, and then in that case you would have to build another grinder. This is to prevent lag on the Loverfella server. For example, you build a blaze grinder, and then you'd have to have 48 blocks between the edge of that grinder and then the next grinder. So you'd have to count that out, guys. Don't mess this up, otherwise they might like destroy that grinder. Another thing is this design that I've made is smaller, but it lowers the spawn rate by about 1%. And I made it smaller because no one really wants to spend an hour or 2 building one of these giant grinders. Just build this, you lose 1%. If you're really into magma grinding, then yeah, build a giant one. But this is just so you guys know, it's not going to be as fast as the official ones, but it's smaller and easier for you guys. So now it is officially time to start building. You really only need 4 types of items: water sources, any type of building block, your spawners, and then a bunch of fence gates. Doesn't really matter which type. I should have a number on screen for how much you're going to need for each section when we get to that section, just so you guys have an idea. But up first, we're actually going to start off by building the spawner chamber. So I'm going to start off by building a couple blocks in the air so I have enough space for the killing chamber and the storage system. And then this is what we're going to call our center right here. Okay, keep that in mind, guys. You're going to want to make sure you keep track of this. And then we're going to be building a 26 by 26 block. So we're going to count out 14 blocks in each direction away from this, and that's going to be how big this base square is. So let's get into it. So after you have this whole area sort of mapped out, you're then going to want to fill it all in. That means all 4 of these corners. And there we go. Once you're done, you should have a 29 by 29 area space here. Then you're going to build up a wall surrounding it by 10 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. This is going to go entirely around the perimeter. And then after you have this entire box built, you're going to want to build out 9 blocks from either side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. On that 9th block, you're going to place a row of fence gates going all the way across. Same thing on the other side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And you're going to place it all down here. So yeah, just fill them all the way down, and then you're done with this step of building. You're then going to want to count in 9 blocks from the sides that you don't have gates on yet. And you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And right here, you're then going to build across again, but only on the inside, not on the outside of these fences. Same thing on the other side. And then you're done with the base fence gates. From there, you're then going to want to find the center, which should be right here. Then you're going to mine a 3 by 3 hole, which will leave it looking like this. Then cover it entirely with fence gates. This is to stop any water from flowing down. Then we get to the fun part where we're literally just going to line the entire outside with water. So you'll have it pushing towards the center, and then on these center parts, you're going to be having it push towards the center again. Same thing on the other side, and then same thing on the other side from there. Then once you have the entire outside pushing in towards the center, you're going to place 1 in each of the 4 corners of this inside box. So then you guys can see that it's pushing directly to the center. So if I place down a magma right now, it's going to get pushed to the center, where technically we want to have these gates open. So you guys can do that right now if you want, but it should just get pushed directly to the center. It's creative. They have AIs, which make it super annoying. So now it's time to build where the spawners actually go. So on screen is the basic layout. This doesn't include like heights or anything, but it's just a little idea in marker so you can see how many blocks from each corner if you guys want to count. So if you want, you can take a quick screenshot of that. You're going to find the edge of your thing directly in the center, and you're going to build up 7 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Once you're done with that, you can just destroy all the ones below, or wait a minute. Then you're going to build 5 over. So this is already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On that 6th block, you're then going to place a fence gate. You can destroy all these pass blocks if you want, or you can save them as a marker in walking space. Then after this fence gate, you're going to build 4 temporary blocks. These temporary blocks are where the spawners are going to go. Now you're going to place blocks covering the entire top of this, just temporary blocks surrounded entirely by fence gates, like so, and then destroy the inside blocks. And this is where you're going to place a water, so I suggest keeping this temporary block here, placing water, breaking it, and now this is done. You can open up all of these fence gates, and if you want to right now, I wouldn't suggest it. You can actually go ahead and place your spawners here. So I'm just going to do it because I'm able to. But it's going to look something like this. So now you're going to want to reflect this on the opposite side. So up 7, over 5, fence, spawner, blocks, fences, water. Pretty simple, and then we'll go from there. Now it's time for the other 2 spawner sections that point towards the center. We're going to build up 6 blocks, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, destroy all the ones below it, and then 5 blocks over, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a fence gate. So this isn't exactly the same as the other one because you guys can see it's actually 1 lower, but it's the same exact design. So we're going to place the 4 spawners, blocks over the top, surrounded by fence gates, break all the blocks inside, and water source. And then of course open up all the gates so that the magma can flow out. Then again reflect that over the other side, all again pointing to the center. 6 up, 5 over, 1 fence gate, 4 spawners, destroy all the other blocks, place temporary blocks over the top, surround it by fence gates, water source, and open fence gates. The main reason I suggest waiting till the end to place all of your spawners is because while these are spawning, it's going to be super annoying to build, plus it also eventually will start to lag you out. Now it's time for those 4 corner spawners. So this is really important that you pay attention to this, guys. So listen closely and then maybe pause and watch it back. Start on one of the outside corners. You're then going to want to build 8 blocks to the center. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Center meaning these ones right here, the lower ones. Then we're going to go up 6 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then you're going to go in 4 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you're going to place a fence gate. Then of course, delete all the blocks behind it. Place your 4 spawners, your temporary blocks above it, surrounded by fence gates. Then repeat this for all 4 corners. And again, you're going to go in 8 blocks, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, towards the center, up 6 blocks, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then in 4 blocks like this. Fence gate, 4 spawners, temporary blocks, fence gates, water, open them up, and then again repeat for the other 2 corners. And then you can actually add a roof because in there is entirely done. You don't need to place any more spawners. Then we're going to move on to the killing chamber in literally 10 seconds. So since you guys have most likely already placed down all of your spawners, you're going to want to close the center gate for the time being while we're building this next area. Hello there. So from the center, you're going to want to broken this 3-block hole if you haven't already. And then you're going to want to go down 3 blocks. And then place a floor. Then add 1 more block going backwards so that it's underneath here. This should be a 3x4 area. You're then going to surround it with a wall so that nothing can fall out, leaving one side open where you want them to be able to kill, and that side should be opposite of this one that you have 1 extra out. Like this. Then you're going to place a row of water here, and then you'll see that it's running down here. That's perfectly fine. We're going to leave it like that for a second. Then you're going to place blocks here, 2 out. You're then going to want to place an entire row of fence gates right here, and then destroy these temporary blocks. You can add to this wall a little bit if you want, and then 1 row of blocks across right here. Then we can open up this gate again because you are technically done with the killing chamber. It's a pretty simple design, but there are a couple variations to it that you can do. Okay, and it's now time to build the storage system. So where these temporary blocks are, we're going to be placing fence gates. This is going to stop the water from running down and getting in your other systems of water. So now you have that, you can open it all up. Also, the point of these iron bars is to control how much drops you get. You're already going to be getting a lot from it flowing forwards, but this is if you want a little bit more. I wouldn't suggest doing 2 rows, maybe only this 2nd row right here, because people aren't going to grind if they don't get any drops. After that though, guys, you're going to place blocks about 3 by 6 like this, and then you're going to place a water source, 3 water sources right there. and block it all in. After that, we're going to place a row of packed ice or normalized. I suggest packed ice. Place fence gates on top, and then again place blocks around the other side like this. Place one water source right here. The point of this is if you throw something in there, it's now getting pushed here and then pushed in a different direction, changing it into one water stream, which is going to be a lot easier to have it push into hoppers. We're gonna have this go for 6 blocks, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're going to place a packed ice and a fence gate on top of that, and again block it all in. I prefer to leave right here blank so that it looks a little nicer, but now we're going to be placing hoppers for the another 6 blocks, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, another packed ice, and another fence gate. We'll do that again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, packed ice, fence gate. And of course block it all in, place your water sources behind each fence gate, and now technically you have a fourth of it done. Congratulations. Now we're going to build it out like this, the slightest bit, and we're going to place a stone brick stair right there. This is to manipulate it so that when it pushes in, the items are going to be on the front half of the coming hoppers. This makes it more likely for them to be picked up. Then a 4 block gap, and then you're going to place a packed ice and a fence gate here. We're going to have it turn again right here, so we're going to waterlog another stairwell, and then you can build it off like this. 6 blocks, packed ice, stair. We're not going to place any hopper on the other side of this just to keep it symmetric, but we'll place hoppers all along right here also. Technically, if you want, you can make this go as far out as you want. Just make sure you have no more than a 4 block gap right here and this setup on the end. You can make it smaller if you want. This is just to make it a little bit more symmetrical. We're going to then go back to placing down hoppers, 4, 5, 6, packed ice, fence gate, and then I'm going to place 2 more hoppers right there. And then we're going to have it right here, a packed ice and a fence gate. And now you have a full loop. So if something isn't picked up when it goes entirely around the outside, it's then going to get shot back into the stream and get pushed around again. This is so you don't have any items despawning. And I just want to remind you guys again, you can have this go out as far as you want. But then we just have the chests literally filled up like this. It's nothing too special. And you just walk down the center selling them. Hoppers leading into it. It can go down as far as you want, as high as you want. You guys probably know how to make storage systems. This is just how you're going to want to set up this one to maximize your space and collecting power. But there you go, guys. Now you know how to build one of the most compact and best magma grinders on the Loverfella server, entirely maxed, plus a sorting system, which is always good to know. You could technically use this for any grinder, but I just suggest keeping it for magma because, yeah, it's a lot easier and a lot better if you're getting a lot of drops from stuff through the water lines. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like, subscribing, and make sure to stay tuned for future tutorial videos on the Loverfella server. But without further ado, hope you enjoyed the video and have a great day. How many magmas are here? I can't even get down the hole. There we go. Oh, there is so much entity cramming here. Bye, guys.